Okay, so I thought I'd do a little bit different video today. Let me get this up a little bit so it's a little bit back. So I thought I'd talk a little bit today, if you have pets, you have dogs especially, about I got that right, the invisible fence. So I'm going to give you my take on this. I've had this for 16 years. I think it works great for what it's supposed to be. Now we've had, over the last 16 years, 6 dogs on this. We have 3 left. And as the older dogs get older and they pass on, we've always replaced them with another dog. So we have 3 now that are on it. If you have passive type dogs, I think it works great. Probably the best investment I ever made when I bought this property. Invisible Fence came out, I think back then, 16 years ago, it was about $1,400 to install this. They give you, in the package, they give you a ½ acre. Now this might have changed. I would go on Invisible Fence's site and get up-to-date information, because this model that I'm showing you here, I'm sure they don't make this number anymore. The collars themselves, now we recently got rid of this, not because it failed, not because of anything. And I don't know if you can see behind me over here, you might not be able to see it, but we put a fence up, separated the property and put a fence up. We have a fence in front of me right over here, and we decided to take the dogs off the invisible fence, only because one of our dogs is slightly aggressive. If she knows you, she's fine. She's the sweetest dog around. If she doesn't know you, she likes to bark and she'll come up on you. And she's gone out in the street a couple times because the batteries have died out. We haven't changed it. And she's gone out in the street because it seems like lately we live on kind of a side street, so there's a lot of people that jog down this street. Mothers with strollers, people on bicycles, and she'll run from one corner of the yard to the other when she sees them. So we have to kind of keep an eye on her when she's outside by herself. And it's something that I really just got tired of doing. Not only that, there's a big liability involved. If she bites somebody, they're gonna quarantine her for 10 days, even though she's had rabies. Then you get a chance on being sued by somebody, and it's just a big hassle. So we decided after, this amount of time, we're just gonna go back to a fence. We can put them outside. We don't have to worry about it. We have a little less than an acre for them to run around on. The original invisible fence went to an acre, so I paid him extra to do an extra ½ acre that comes with the package. Also, the collars, we needed to replace a couple collars, and they're like $250 a collar, and it was just more than I really wanted to spend, considering that it's not 100%. Like I said, 2 of the dogs we have are really passive. They work fine, but the aggressive dog, she'll run right through it, and then she won't come back because she'll get zapped on the way back. So it's a difficult situation. So we decided, let me see if you can see the fence around that we did around the back or around there. So the only thing they lost was way over there where the container is. But they have the whole rest of the yard. They have plenty of places for shade in the summer that they can go under. They actually go underneath the deck a lot of times here. We still have a little bit of work to do, but so on this invisible fence, this is what one of the collars looks like, and this is the unit right here. And these batteries, you can see on the bottom here is where the battery is. They last about 3 months. Now you can get on their automatic plan where they send you however many batteries you want automatically, like every 3 months. We did that for a while, but we found out the batteries actually last about 5 months. So we stopped doing that. The 2 other dogs we have really never even went to the line to where the wire was running under the ground, because the first thing that they hear when they get to that line is they'll hear a tone, and then about 5 seconds later, if they're not moved away from that line, they get a slight zap. So after a while, the dogs will know how far they can go and how far they can't go. They all know where they can go, but if they run through it, chances are they won't come back because they don't want to get zapped again. So we just felt it was in, her best interest, because all 3 dogs, well, actually, any dog we've ever had has been a rescue dog. Her especially, she was abused as a puppy. We got her about a year old, and the woman that had her kept her in a cage for like 20 hours a day. So she never really socialized that much with other dogs. She's fine with the dogs we have because, you know, she grew up with them. And she's fine with people that know her, that come over to the house, they know her, she's fine. But if she doesn't know you, she can get a little aggressive. So to be safe with everybody around, to protect us liability-wise, and to, you know, protect her, we just decided to get rid of the invisible fence. This way I can put her outside. All the property, if you look over, like over that way, that whole part of the property is already fenced in. You can't see it, but it's against the wooden fence that's there. So we decided we're going to do this other part of the property and, you know, keep them a little bit more safe. So again, here's the inside of the unit. It looks like this. It's basically got, like, I think 16 gauge wire that you run in the ground. Now you don't have to bury this wire. You can, the second time, I actually had to run a second line because one of the lines, this thing will beep if it doesn't make a continuous contact, and I think maybe a rabbit or something, raccoon, chewed through the line and disconnected the line. It's kind of difficult to find out where that break is, so I just ran a whole new line, and it was fine for, you know, 15 years. This original unit, this is actually the second unit that we got, because the first unit failed after about a year, but they sent us a brand new unit, and this one has been fine. So we've had actually this one on continuously for 15 years, and it still works to this day. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't want to, we're only down to one collar, which she had. The other two dogs don't have a collar because these units failed about a year ago, and I really didn't want to have to go out and spend $500 for new collars, you know, when I didn't really need to do that. So now everything is kind of cool. So I would recommend this if you have dogs. Again, the border collie we have, you see she's over there. Because she's got such heavy fur and a lot of hair, you can't really get, these prongs don't really get up to her neck unless you really tighten it. And then it kind of restricts her breathing. So if you have a dog with a lot of hair like she has, you might have to cut around her neck, the hair around her neck, for this to make a decent contact without actually strangling her or putting it on too tight. The other two dogs we have are short hair, so it's not an issue. It's all it has to do is just kind of rest against their neck so they get it, so they get that zap if they get to it. And it's a pretty mild zap. Now this unit here, the collie, you can't adjust. If you want a stronger current that goes through this, you have to send this unit back to them, and they'll turn it up a notch or turn it down a notch, or you know, that's what they'll do. And it's like a $50 fee to do that. That's one of the downsides to this, is you can't do that yourself, which is something I wish that you could be able to set yourself. The other downside to this unit is they don't sell these in stores. You have to go through their website, and to get it installed, there's usually installers that come around and do it. I don't know if you can just, I think you can buy the whole unit now from them and install it yourself. When we bought it, you couldn't. You had to get an installer out to do it. All the batteries, everything have to be purchased through their website. Another thing that I didn't like, if I ran out of a battery, I wanted to be able to get it right now. I didn't want to have to wait days for a battery to come in. So we looked at kind of other alternatives at like Petco to see what kind of pet containment systems they had. I really wasn't too impressed with it. Again, because we have a dog that will go right through it. Big dogs, German Shepherds, Great Danes, I don't know how well they would work on this, but you know, smaller dogs, they probably would be fine with it. Dogs that are, you know, docile, not aggressive, Labradors, Border Collies, they'd probably be fine with it. But anything that's, you know, Dobermans or German Shepherds or Pit Bulls or Rottweilers, I would not trust with this system, just because if they go through it, they're gone. And there's no, you know, control on them once they're outside of it. Once they get about 3 feet past the underground wire, it doesn't affect them at all. It's only when they come back. They have 3 feet on either side of the wire that they'll get a zap. So I just thought I'd, you know, kind of throw this out and give you a quick review of this. This is a great system. And if I didn't have a dog that was kind of aggressive, I would probably just buy the collars and redo it. But I really wanted to have the fence in for her. If you can see her, she is right there. Come on, Layla. She's right there on the deck. So like I said, she was kind of abused as a puppy. And I think that's what kind of made her aggressive. So, all right, so that's going to do it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're still doing work around the property, trying to clean up from that tree we had cut up. I'll be doing some more videos in the next couple of weeks on some of the stuff we got going on around here. So don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.